So as I said earlier, Mauricio was appointed only last week before, and starts leading this new capability from next month. So I'm going to pretend that I'm Mauricio. If you don't know Mauricio, if you've never met him, he is a reader in computer science. He's also a researcher in the Centre for AI Fundamentals. I won't read that out. You can read it, and we will be sharing the slides afterwards. But I think the important thing about what AI at Manchester is here to do is a sort of a single point of entry, not just for those of us who are in the university, but actually for, probably more importantly, those people outside of the university who often approach the university and go, what are you doing on AI? And we've got multiple centres and institutes now that when Institute of Data Science and AI was set up weren't here. So these have all evolved independently of IDSI over the last 10 years or so. So as I said, there was a review of IDSI and the decision was taken that we'd bring this together as named as AI at Manchester as the sort of single point of entry for people who are maybe trying to work out what's going on here. Because there's a lot going on, and many of you in the room represent these institutes and centres. So it also includes, one of the things Mauricio does as well, he leads the CDT in AI in decision-making for complex systems. We've got Magnus Rattray, who used to be the director of IDSI, who leads the Ellis group. We've got, as I said, Centre for AI Fundamentals, the Christabel Pankhurst. Many of these have been mentioned because they're linked into some of the themes as well. Centre for Robotics and AI, Turing Innovation, Catalyst. There are, like other theme leads have said as well, there are probably other activities going on here at the university that we might not be aware of. So one of the first things Mauricio will be doing is going around talking to departments, schools departments. We'll be aware of the fact that there are probably research groups in maybe some of your schools which are not centres, but that we want to capture that and help connect maybe your research group that's got an AI element in there with other parts of the university and sort of convene those kind of activities. I wasn't sure if you had it. I think because this is so new, there is not a list of events that are taking place yet. That is part of Mauricio's job, is to capture what activity is going on. Some of you might be aware, for the last few years now, we've run a international conference on data science, advances in data science and AI. That will still take place. So that will be one of Mauricio's jobs, is basically to convene and run that conference. That's always taken place in June for the last few years. We're actually moving it to end of October, early November, this sort of, well, that's the next academic year. Partly because, as many of you might be aware of the fact that the university has been having this campaign on AI and Turing. It was 75 years since Turing first published his groundbreaking paper. So we'll be doing something slightly different in October, November time. There'll be the 2-day academic conference, but then there's going to be a 3rd day where we're going to be bringing in sixth formers, FE colleges, sort of showing, as a showcase for the kind of activity that goes on here, partly as how do we bring the next generation to Manchester to study AI and computer science. There's going to be then another day around innovation, so how do we bring in public, private, third sector organisations, not just from the Greater Manchester sort of city region, but nationally and internationally, so they can learn about the kind of things we're doing as well. And we'll work in other parts of the university for that. So if those of you in the room here are interested in that, obviously get in touch with Mauricio and we can be sort of identifying key people. He's going to be sort of forming some sort of organising committee for that conference as well. Whether that stays at that time of year going forward, or whether we move back to June, there's various things to be sorted out around that. But yeah, so as I said, the key thing here is really that it's there's a new website being put together that will capture all of this, so that will then link through to the relevant centres and institutes. But again, as I said, if you think, where's my research group, where's my centre, why is it not on here? I think we've got most things, but we're a big place, there's probably some stuff we're missing. So we want this to grow and, as I said, act as that umbrella. I won't say any more because it's more Mauricio's job than me. But yeah, kind of watch this space in terms of how AI at Manchester as this kind of new theme is going to evolve.